Really, we figure we're first in Class B. We're super pleased with how the players' cars run all day, and Jack's just impressed us. Few laps to go yet. I can't see how we could catch Junior unless he has some sort of a problem, but I would think he's okay on fuel now, and we're okay on fuel, so let's see if we can make it to the finish.
And you got to be hugely impressed with this young rookie and what he's done today here under this pressure cooker at Indianapolis.
Super pleased. He's run the whole month. He's done such a great job for us, and all the players, fans, and all the Villeneuve fans just keep their fingers crossed here until we get to the finish. Thanks, Gary.
All right, let's go back to Jack.
Gary, things have settled down in Team Penske's pit, and Bobby Unser and Danny Sullivan, you were absolutely right. What Roger is trying to communicate first to his pit boardman to pass on to his driver is that there are 180 laps completed, and that there are 14 cars separating him and this nearest second-place car, Jacques Villeneuve. So he is trying to get that information. It has been passed on to Al Jr., and now we'll just have to wait and see.
Jack, you should see the emotion in Roger Penske. He was holding that pit board, and his left hand was shaking. It was shaking the board.
I find it absolutely ironic, though, gentlemen, in this age of high-dollar technical stuff, Roger Penske and his multi-million-dollar outfit may win the Indy 500 by use of a blackboard and a piece of chalk. Said 188 laps have been completed. I may have miscommunicated it.
So 188 laps, in fact, are complete, Jack. Roger Penske using that blackboard as they still clean up from Emerson Fittipaldi's accident, and the yellow is on. Obviously, Fittipaldi was uninjured. We hope to talk to him before the end of this race coverage here today.
I remember back to Al Unser Jr.'s first year here in 1983. He was so excited to be at Indianapolis. He would go out from time to time in practice and forget to even fasten his seat belts. He's come a long way since then.
Roger still communicating by blackboard.
Don't forget that Roger's also pretty pumped up and a little bit nervous right now, and that's probably helping him keep his mind off everything by just writing on that blackboard and doing something with his hands.
So Roger Penske looking at the chance that Al Unser Jr. will be the winner of the Indy 500. The blimp Spirit high over the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That was Big Al there. 204 feet long. The Goodyear blimp is cruising at 30 miles an hour over the top of the track. Provided some great pictures here today. Helped us analyze some of the situations that have developed. All right, Jack Harut, they continue to talk strategy. What do you think the game plan is now?
Well, Paul, what the problem is when you revert back to the old blackboard and the chalk, every signalman on pit road reads what you've got to say. That has been the key for the Forsyth Green team. They have dispatched some of their team members to some of the cars directly in front of Jacques Villeneuve to try and see if maybe they will pull out of the way and give Jacques a clean shot on the start and trying to gun down Al Unser Jr.
Yeah, but even if they do, guys, remember one thing. Al Jr. is going to get a green with 10 laps to go. He's going to have a green, clean track in front of him. Nobody out there and not a very crowded field at the moment. I think he's going to be all alone for those 10 laps.
And he'll certainly be taking it easy on the engine, the transmission, the tires, and not running any place he shouldn't be, Danny.
Absolutely.
You saw the leaderboard at lap 189. As we come around, it'll be 10 laps to go. And remember, so many times, the leader at lap 190 is not the leader at 200, Sam.
Roger Penske's last 4 wins have come with 4 different drivers, starting with you, Danny, then Rick, then Big Al, then Emerson. This would be a 5th.
You know that little Al's work. He's nervous right now. Can you imagine the butterflies inside of him, Bobby, right now? He's going to let that pace car get out. He's not going to let anybody jump him on this restart. He's going to come slow down the back straightaway and start building it up through 3 and 4. When he comes off 4, he's going to be on the gas.
And he also knows that nobody can get a swing at him there.
That's right.
Take a look back there. There's second place.
He's already on it, but the pace car is still on the track coming through 4. Now the pace car is coming off. He is on it.
This is where the advantage of being out front is so great, because he's got his momentum and it's his race to win now.
As they cross the line, 10 laps to go in the Indianapolis 500. The focus is on car 12.
Now little Al will get a little bit of a lead, and then he'll start easing off some more. He's got to have all the guarantees, like Danny said, that he can have.
Little Al pulls away, but what about Villeneuve? What is he doing? Can he get around those cars in front of him? Look up the track. There he is. There's the distance. They're three abreast in front of him.
But don't forget one thing. He's the fifth car back. There he is right there going through the corner. But remember one thing. Barry Green is pleased with that first in class, that second place. I know they want to win it, but they're not going to throw away that second place on some stupid move trying to get by a slower car.
And also keep in mind that he's in the like type of an engine, the Ford Cosworth. He can't just whip out and pass him like the Mercedes can.
9 laps to go. Al Unser Jr. a straightaway over Jacques.
Bobby, I know you said that Al will start easing it back, but I remember when I was in this same situation and I was so nervous and my leg was shaking. The only way to keep it from shaking that much was to hold it down. I run my fastest lap on the last lap of the race.
We also saw you spin and win it, Danny, so.
We see Shelley Unser, Al's wife there. You know, Al is in his 12th Indianapolis, but he's only 32 years old. This could very well be the next 4- or 5-time winner here at the Speedway.
Well, Sam, you're not only right there, but also that he has just joined the Penske team. They've got a great record here. He's a young man. He'll be with Penske for a lot of years, and he's got a lot of bright future in front of him in terms of winning the Indianapolis 500.
You saw it, the leader of the race by 9.5 seconds. Again, we look from the leader. Look back for that blue and white car. He still has a great deal of distance to make up. There he is. It doesn't appear that he's making up much at all.
Well, I doubt that he's really trying very hard. He knows that the pass with an engine like he's got is just not an easy one, whereas little Al is just in clean air and running away from it. So he's probably going to try to guarantee second place.
Does the strategy, Bobby, to be let's drive for second place and see whether or not little Al can finish?
Yes, because little Al could run out of fuel. He can still blow an engine. He could have transmission problems. Remember all the debris we've had trouble with on the track all day. So he's better off to gamble like he is, believe me.
By this time, the drivers will have sweated off 6 to 8 pounds or even more in some cases, but with the end of the race so close in sight, this is when the adrenaline takes over and carries you to the finish.
The little Al is running a very conservative. You notice he's not running away from those 3 cars behind him. He's just going to pace himself. He doesn't even want to catch the traffic. He doesn't want to have to deal with traffic.
You look up to the end of the main straightaway off at turn 4, and you look for Villeneuve. There he is. Now he's fallen even further behind. He's not driving for catch-up now. He's driving to stay in second. The race may belong to Al Unser Jr.
I compared Jacques Villeneuve to Mario Andretti, who of course finished 3rd in his rookie year. Jacques appears to be en route to second. A new star is born, I would say.
The last couple of laps, he's lost 10 seconds. He's 20 seconds behind the lead of the race, and the leader is car 31.
And you've got to take your hat off to that. That's a good decision, Paul.
Don't forget the famous Granatelli turbines, 67 and 68, failing in the last lap.
Bobby, of course, that's a very good approach and a very conservative approach, but it also takes the heat off of Al Jr. He can then pace himself down. It doesn't put any pressure on him to maybe run it a little stronger and put him in a fuel situation.
Yeah, Danny, because in the real life, if he actually caught little Al, he couldn't do anything with him. He couldn't pass him. He has to run him out of fuel or has to break, or little Al has to break something. Otherwise, he's in problems.
That's right. And I also don't think that he could get by enough of those cars in the laps remaining without taking some fairly serious chances.
The talk before the race was all of the risk that Roger Penske was taking running these new engines. Obviously, he had strength in numbers and needed it, but so far one of them has made its way through.
196 laps are complete. This race is definitely not over, but it's looking good for little Al as he pulls a visor off to get a clear view. One of those tearaways on the front of his helmet. Last
just
pole
to
winner, by the
clarify,
way, was Rick Mears in 1991. The last time car 31 started on the pole was 1919. If he wins it, it will be the first win ever by a car numbered 31.
We have a yellow. We have
got another yellow.
And Fox.
Now watch for little Al. Let's make sure he gets through clearly and there's no debris problems.
Remember, he has no radio. Penske cannot radio him on this, so he has to go by the yellow lights on the track.
Yeah, but don't forget now, it looks like this race will probably end under a yellow because I don't see him getting that cleaned up with just a couple laps to go, and he's going to be very conservative here.
I don't know, Danny. Sometimes these crews We'll get that debris off real quickly. Little Al motors through.
Look how slow he came through there, Paul. He was really, really looking for debris on the car.
And Big Al can barely stand it. But Penske is concerned, does this give a chance for Villeneuve to close up again?
Well, he was losing ground, so I don't believe that he'll have moved up any cars.
The incident, of course, is Stan Fox. We may not have mentioned that to you.
Stan Fox was racing in the top 10, Paul. It's a real shame for him. He's done so well all month and has soldiered through the race.
So Stan Fox against the wall, bringing out the yellow. 197 laps complete, Jerry Punch.
Emerson Fittipaldi just walking out of the care center. First of all, MR, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, that was a shame. The car was flying, and I just hit the apron. I would say about the feet too much on the inside. I got that. I made the back end, lost it. I nearly correct, and then I hit the wall coming out. It was a shame. But, you know, Junior's going to win. That'll be fantastic for the team.
A big smile, though, with the Mercedes-Benz engine performance today.
Oh, it was beautiful. I mean, we were really flying. It was a shame what happened. We should be 1 and 2.
Emerson Fittipaldi's okay. A little disappointed. Wanted that win number 3.
I think that smile is hiding a lot of pain. The pylon, brand new pylon, by the way, here at the Speedway, showing 197 laps complete. When they cross the line behind the pace car, 2 laps to the end of the race. Will they get the debris cleared off? Little Al's not going to take any chance whatsoever. He's moving back and forth, and there, the blue and white car, number 12, and that is Villeneuve. You see him there?
Number 12.
And the idea of the whipping back and forth, Paul, is to make sure they have a little tiny pickup tank for the engine inside the main fuel tank. So he's whipping it back and forth to make sure that it keeps the fuel in there. Because when they're running slow, it's not the same as when you're running fast with a fuel tank.
And one other concern, Paul and Bobby, is that when you're running this slow, you'll see the pace car now is really slowed down from its 80 miles an hour to try to get one more lap to be green, because they want to finish under green. That's always a problem with a car. It's been running 500 miles all day long. It's hot. You don't want to go too slow.
They're trying to get Stan Fox's car off as fast as they can, trying to get the last lap, the white flag lap, run under green. They're working the 198th lap. Of course, that there is communications with the pace car. You're looking back from it now with Al Unser Jr. steadily driving down the backstretch, locked straight ahead.
I think Al figures he has to drive one more racing lap.
They are going to try and go green for the white flag lap. Dwayne Sweeney has the white flag in his hand. Al Unser Jr. closes up on the pace car. 1 lap to win the Indianapolis 500. What will become the most important lap of his life.
They, of course, still have the flashing lights on in the pace car, so they're going to go around one more time.
We'll see whether or not that's true. There was an indication they were going to radio the pace car from the control center to get off the track and take it green.
The rules say the pace car has to have the lights off before they come green to warn the drivers. And obviously, there was a little bit of communication problem among the officials there.
And Bobby, also, they have to do it before they get into turn 3. Otherwise, they would have a major incident possibly over here in turn 4.
So this is it.
So barring some remarkable occurrence now, Al Unser Jr. will win the 78th running of the Indianapolis 500. He has 2.5 miles to go. The final lap will occur under the yellow flag. The rules don't permit them to turn the yellow on somewhere around the track. But Big Al and Roger Penske both know it's not really over until he crosses that final line, as trite as it may sound.
And Paul,
that driver in that cockpit has to be listening to the car, has to be making sure that even at 80 miles an hour, I can make it, right, Bobby?
Yes, that's for certain, sure.